I wanted to shoot a video to show you how I added a side burner to my Weber gas grill using an old camp stove that I had laying around the house. So kind of what I want to do is give you a real quick run through of what I did and then get into more of the particulars afterwards. So if you just kind of wanted to get the idea, you could, and then move along. So this is an older Weber gas grill model. From what I understand, if you have one of the newer gas grill models, it will also work because they're made similarly. But you have to kind of try and see what you did yourself. So basically, as you can see down here, I have a splitter, and then this gas line goes to my normal grill, and then I bought this extra hose that goes all the way up over to here. And so what I did was I put my camp stove in. I built this little platform and I built it in so that it could be usable, but you could also still put this back on if you weren't going to use it. So that's basically what I ended up doing. And so you can kind of see down here, here's the place where you would turn it on, and then the hose just goes over and connects into there. So basically the problem that I ran into with this has to do with how these camp stoves here, just leave that off, these camp stoves here use high pressure for propane, and normal grills use low pressure for propane. And the way that they use the low pressure has to do with the regulator, which was something that I really wasn't too sure of. So you can see here that this regulator is what regulates the flow of gas. So if you put this high pressure line behind a regulator, you won't get any gas flow out of there because it will be restricting it too much. So I bought this splitter on Amazon, and I'm going to link up everything that I bought down in the notes, so that I could split the propane before the regulator, so that this regulator still goes up to my normal gas grill burners, and then this one, the high pressure one, basically gets propane flow before it hits the regulator so it can get that high pressure. The stove that I used was just this old Coleman stove that normally hooks onto these green bottles. And then the hose that I used, a few different companies make them, but this is the one that I bought because it was the cheapest. They had it at Walmart. It was like 12 bucks, but they also sell them online if you wanted to get something that was a little bit longer. And then as far as for making the platform over here on the side, I bought a piece of sheet steel from Lowe's, and I used some tin snips to cut out a circle for it. And then I bought these aluminum just because they were cheaper, and who knows, maybe they'll help to deflect some of the heat a little bit more. I have these aluminum L brackets here that I put on with some self-tapping screws to kind of support this table. And so that's what I ended up doing. I painted this with some high heat paint, which I have over here. So I bought this high heat paint, but they only had it in flat black. So I went ahead and bought this high heat clear coat to go on top of it, just to kind of make it look nice. And once it gets a little weathered, I feel like it already kind of matches the overall, just the color of the grill, having it be the gloss. So that's really it in a nutshell. And so I can kind of fire it up for you in a second. So this fitting down here that hooks onto these gas grills is called a 1" by 20 propane fitting, or other people call it a throwaway propane cylinder. And so you can kind of see here what it looks like. That's the 1" 20 end there, or they call these throwaway propane cylinders. So if you wanted to look up for something like that, you could, and you would find something. So here, let me do a little quick demonstration. I already turned the gas on down there just to save time. So you can open up the grill, turn that on. So that's gonna light up there. You can kind of see the flames going in there a little bit. And then over here, I'm going to get my little lighter so we can turn this on. And you can already hear that gas flowing. And so that's burning. It's hard to see in the light here, but you can kind of see the heat coming off of there. So that is burning exactly how it's supposed to be. So you have full unrestricted gas flow going with that. So again, really the key is that regulator piece. Is you need to get the gas flow to your camp stove from your propane tank before it hits a regulator, otherwise it will not work properly. So that's all. I hope you guys learned a lot, and obviously you wouldn't want to put this back on until it was cool, but since I only had it running for a second, it should be fine. So boom, problem solved. I hope you enjoyed the video.